Hello, everybody. This is John from Listening to Writing the Movies, which is a podcast that looks at Universal Studios theme parks and, by extension, its movies and TV properties. And dropping a little video content for you here today, because today is an exciting day for Universal fans. The Peacock Streaming Service has gone live for everybody now. Back on April 15th, if you were an Xfinity customer, you could already access this portal, get to this content, but now anybody that wants to sign up can sign up to get access to the Peacock Streaming Service, which is kind of a repository for Universal Studios content, which encompasses a lot of NBC programming and affiliated channels like USA Network. This is the first time I've logged in, so you, the viewer, are having the same experience as I am in terms of this is the beginning, this is the layout of a service that I'm sure I'll be using a lot. Now, what strikes me right off the bat is it very much adapts the aesthetic that most streaming services have now. Seeing a lot of boxes, a lot of rectangles, which I like. It's good, it's clean, it looks like it's going to be very easy to navigate. As I'm sure you understand, I'm not going to actually be clicking on any of this content because, well, that would be a bit of a legal nightmare if I inadvertently started streaming something that I don't own. I think it is interesting that the splash page here, right off the bat, is pushing two Peacock originals, one of them being a completely new IP in Brave New World, and the other, of course, being Psych 2, which I'm sure is going to attract a lot of fans of the show, and also people that are just kind of nostalgic for that era of USA Network TV programming. Scrolling down more, we see it's sort of broken up by sections. I see Peacock Picks. I imagine that's where they're going to be pushing the newer original projects, or the newer stuff that just gets listed from the backlog. Stuff they expect to get the most views, which makes sense. Peacock Originals, exclusive. I know they have a decent amount of exclusives right now, but they're going to be releasing more because any streaming service now is really lives or dies by its exclusive original content, because that's what people want. We've got featured films, and then looks like these sections kind of get more into genre-specific tags, laugh out loud, comedies, dramas, reality programming. One thing that really jumps out at me is how they're doing a nice job of mixing their newer content in with sort of vintage retro stuff. That's wise if you have somebody who's just coming to this page and isn't quite sure what direction they want to go. Maybe something will catch their eye. They'll be like, I'm in an Unsolved Mysteries mood, let's jump in. Or maybe I'm in a Woody Woodpecker mood, which, I mean, who isn't in a Woody Woodpecker mood? So, no shortage of content. You definitely can't say that they launched half-cocked on the content end of things. I imagine that... Oh, Alfred Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Can't go wrong with some Alfred Hitchcock content. Boy, it looks like they got a bunch of classic Hitchcock movies. Psycho, Birds, Rear Window. Ooh, Universal Monsters. I dig that Universal's really dipped into the archive to bring up classic cinema, which a lot of these movies have been on other streaming services on and off over the years, but it's kind of nice to have one repository for it, one hub. So up here in the tabs, we see TV shows, movies, kids, news, sports, Latino. Again, kind of your standard layout for a streaming service like this. Let's go into TV and see. Oh, so right off the bat, they're pushing America's Got Talent, which is kind of a big current show, so that makes sense to be pushing that. Parks and Rec, no surprise they're pushing that. I'm sure a lot of Parks and Rec fans are signing up for the service just to access that. So it'd be a content mover if you're Comcast, thinking you're going to get sign-ups just from that show alone. You could definitely say the same about Law & Order Special Victims Unit, which is just a powerhouse of an IP for NBC. It's crazy how long that's been around. So, yeah, again, like I said before, in terms of mixing content on the homepage there, you have a nice mix of current shows and old shows here Just tons and tons of things to watch. Let's go up, let's check out the movie tab real quick. Okay, Born Identity. Ooh, Jurassic Park. Pushing the big boys right up top. That's interesting. Rotten Tomatoes approved, so kind of actively... And if you look here, it seems like there's tomato meter scores, so I don't know if this is an official partnership or some sort of just... they just know that when it comes to reviews, Rotten Tomatoes is a bit of an industry standard, so... incorporate that, put it in language that your end consumer here can understand. And they have the same sort of tag genre system that we saw on the main page in terms of, comic relief, serious cinema. Just tons and tons of things to watch. Initial impressions, first impressions, I love it. I have to obviously actually try watching something. I imagine the interface is going to be pretty good. So I encourage you, viewer, to sign up for the service. It's, if you want content, if you're a Universal fan, an NBC fan, it seems like a no-brainer to me. It seems like, at the very least, you want to hop on and sample it for a month. Just give it a try. I think that Comcast seems to be putting a lot of energy into this, and I appreciate that. It doesn't seem like it's a fly-by-night, half-baked launch. Seems like the content's there. I look forward to checking it out. I hope you do too. And by all means, check out our podcast if you don't already do. Listening to Writing the Movies, you can find that on any podcast platform. Just type it in. And I look forward to providing you content in the future.